Hey, it's MK and I am back with another Follow a Sketch February, and this time I am going to try and split this layout in half. So here is the layout that we are going to be doing, and basically I'm going to do the whole layout and then I'm going to try to cut it in half, or I might cut it in half and do it as a whole layout side by side. I haven't figured that part out yet. I did do a little bit of prep work before I actually started the layout, or this would have been like a million years long. So I punched some border strips out. I have a really cool film strip border punch from Janet Hauser. I think that's how you say her last name. I apologize, Janet, if I said your name wrong. She gifted me a ton of those Creative Memory border punch punched out images. I just absolutely love that. I also have a color ready border strip from Close to My Heart. Now these two pieces I will be actually coloring. I just don't know what color yet. I'll probably spray them up because that's what I like to do. I also have a zip strip, or a branding strip is what some people call it, from Close to My Heart. Just a random charcoal gray with crosses on it, or plus signs, however you want to look at it. I went to my Cricut and I used some 6x6 papers to cut out some images of some koi fish. I did that on this gorgeous, gorgeous, goldy, shimmery paper. Can you guys see that? No? Really? Ah, it's gorgeous, you guys. It is from Tonic Studios or Craft Perfect, I believe. I don't know if that's Tonic Studios' name for their cardstock. I'm not really sure, but it's Craft Perfect. And then of course my 6x6 squares that I'm sure everyone is getting tired of seeing. I also cut out some of these like watery looking images from my Cricut as well. I do have some punched hexies that I already did. I punched them twice. Now this was a happy accident. So I had this, and I've had this for a while. It's an old Creative Memories Hexagon Punch. In fact, I think I bought it off of like one of the Facebook group destash pages that I used to be on. I had to get off because I was spending more than I was destashing, which wasn't the point. I wanted to destash. Okay, anyways, you've got a 1 1/4 and a 1 1/2, and they've always been like, you put this inside here and it's just like, it had a huge gap, which I was okay with. It's from white to white. I like this. Here, let me show you. Ah, that's better. So it was a huge gap like this, which I was okay with, but I wanted it to be smaller like this one. Okay. Well, I bought this off of my girlfriend, and she was finally destashing, and I'm like, I never got that and I really want it, so I want it. So I went ahead and I punched out all 3 of these hexagons. Now these are the only hexagons that I own. I never bought the squeezy punchy one. But when you layer all 3 up together, look at that. They fit in absolutely perfect. Teeny tiny little border that I like, and I love it, you guys. I absolutely love it. So I went ahead and I glued all those together because how boring is that? Ugh. And I had popcorn, so if you see it all over my layout, that's why. I love it. Then I also, like I said, I've got my Goldie koi right here. Now this koi actually had like teeny tiny little dots. In fact, this one didn't punch all the way through. There we go. It had teeny tiny little dots that you're supposed to put back in certain places, and I thought, no, I made them too small in order to do that because it's supposed to be a huge like mural of all this stuff, and I shrunk it down to what I thought my machine could handle. In fact, some pieces did not come out, but that's okay. I can worry about that later. And here we go. So I have this koi fish that needs to be put together, and he's got like little bits and pieces of him that like he's got a cute little face. However, I figure out how it goes, like so. And then he's got some fins. This one goes right here, like so. thought he had another piece too, but, oh yes, it's this one right here. Flip it around and he goes like that. And then I was going to put a gem on him for an eye, so I didn't cut the eye out. And then this piece needs to be colored, okay? So it's going to go, I believe it goes like that. Yes, it does. And I wanted it to be like this peachy pink color, so I needed to color it, so I thought, well, I'll just cut it out of white and then I'll watercolor it if I have to. However it works to get the color that I want. And then I'm going to take these koi pieces and I'm going to change the color of their bellies, because that's some of the colors, using some of these more pieces. These more pieces. Yep, that makes perfect sense. So I'm going to change and fill in all of these little gaps a little bit of these koi. Here, I might just use all red. I might just use a little bit of orange. I'm not really sure because they're all different colors. The kois are all different colors. I didn't get very good pictures of them, but I got some, and that's all that matters. So anywho, putting all of these off to the side, because I will do that later. I just wanted to get on and show you guys what I'm doing. And actually what I'm doing is a 1.5 pages. So I am doing a 12 by 12 page of a map, and then it will have a 6 by 6 or a 6 by 12, sorry, flip flap attached to it. And when you flip it open, it will be decorated on both sides. So it'll be a 1.5 pages, but it'll be attached to this page. Okay, so it is also Wood Grain Wednesday. Did I forget to tell you guys that? I think I did. So with Wood Grain Wednesday, I have 2 base pieces that are wood grain, but my hexes are also wood grain. Okay, so I've got wood grain on wood grain. This is like wood plank, and then you have wood grain, like literally just the grain on the hexes. I just went through my 12 by 12, or nope, my 6 by 6 scraps and pulled out every single one that was a wood grain, and I punched out as many white pieces as I could. That's all I did was the white pieces, and then that's how many wood grain color pieces that I got. Now, they seem off the wall and chaotic colors, but I think that they'll be fine. Yeah, I think they'll be just fine for what I'm doing, because of the fact that they kind of sort of go with this part of the page rather than this part of the page. Okay, so I've never done a koi page before, but we're going to try and see where I go with this. I think that the best part for me to do is to cut this in half at 6 inches and then work on it as if it is a whole page, but I know where my seam is, especially when it comes to the photos. I don't mind cutting this one in half, well, not in half, but right here where there's no koi swimming around. So I don't mind with this piece going from this side to this side, but these ones here, I want to know exactly where the 6-inch mark is, and then I will put it right next to that 6-inch line on this side. And then I was thinking about doing the same over here on this side, and then I will cut down the center. And these 2 photos don't get chopped up in any way, but this one I'm okay with getting chopped up. Okay, so that's where I'm going. 6.5 hours later, I am going to get started. I don't know where though. I think I'm going to start with the die cuts, get all those together, cut my piece in half, and then get started. I still need to spray these, so these need to have time to dry. I just don't know what colors I want to make them, because I have not brought in any blue except for these water pieces. And of course, you know, my koi are in water. But I'm not sure, you guys. I just don't know where I'm going with any of this. So yeah, let's go for a ride. All right, so the first thing that I am going to start with is actually cutting the wood piece in half. And then I decided that I was going to take care of this map so that way I didn't have to keep shifting it around and moving it across my desk and all that stuff. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking this, it's called a ribbon punch, and I am decorating one side of the edge. I just felt like it, I just felt like it needed something to draw the eye across the page, and that teeny tiny little border, it works. So anyways, I just wanted to get the pieces glued down, and then that way I didn't have 3 pieces of paper to worry about. I just have 1. So now I thought that I was going to cut this red piece, and I thought, well, I don't even know what size to cut it yet. I have no clue. So I'm going to move on to these like water swirls, and basically I fast forwarded this quite a bit, or the recording would have been way too long. But once I find placement for all of these swirls, I actually cut out the gluing part. They don't shift very much, except for they might not be glued back in the exact spot that I had it, but pretty close. But I do a lot of shifting because I want to make sure that these swirls are visible and none of them get like fully glued down or fully glued to where they're covered with the red pieces. Does that make sense? So I just basically want them to be at the top and the bottom, because then they're going to be covered by, well, hexagons and that large red square eventually when I get around to putting it on the layout. So now again, I fast forwarded this very, very fast because once I lay them all down, I glue them exactly where they are. And I am strategically placing them to where they're not covering the swirls, the water swirls too much, but I want them to, still be part of the water swirls. I don't know. I really like the decoration part of it. I really do. So anywho, I decided that I needed to lay out my photos to see how big this red square needs to be. I just can't eyeball it, you guys. So I put my photos down and I roughly cut a 6.5 by 9.5 little square. I thought, you know what, that's great. It's not supposed to be square, so I just wanted it to peek around all of the edges. It doesn't end up looking like this by the time that that the layout is over. It does, things shift, and I don't glue everything down right away. I have this huge issue. I should have glued that red piece down just like that, but I wanted to make sure that all of the pieces were where they were supposed to be. Now, I haven't put my fish together yet. I did not do that part without you guys. Don't worry about that. But I do need to make up my marbles of what colors I am going to color these border strips. I just have no clue yet, you guys. I have so many colors. I've got blue, green, pink, red, that aqua tealy color. I've got every color under the sun, even a little yellow if you count the gold. So what color do I make those? I don't like them craft in white. They just stick out like sore thumbs and don't blend with the layout. So it takes me a while to figure out what colors I want to make them. And so when I don't know what to do, I move on to to what I know I want to do. And I definitely know that I don't want to make them, the peachy pink. I've got way too much of that going on already, even though I love it. So I decided I'm going to put the koi together. It's like I knew that I was going to need to wait for those border strips to dry, but I don't know what color. And I thought, I'm going to put the koi together, and then when I go to get the color for the koi's top fin, that white piece there, then I will pick out my colors. They're all in the same area of my craft room, and so it's like, why go get those colors when I need to go get this color, and I'll just do it all at the same time. Not a big deal. I'm sure that there's plenty of things I can do while I wait for those to dry. So I'm just going to really quickly put my koi together, He is so cute, you guys. I love this image. It is just adorable. And then I'm also going to glue the fish. I'm actually going to do 3 red and 3, I almost said green, 3 yellow. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out which ones I want those colors. And so I'm just kind of like one of each will be yellow and red. Spit it out. Spit out the words. And then I'm not going to make you guys watch me cut around. It's a fussy cut, and I'm just roughly cutting around the belly of the fish, and that's it, making sure that I don't chop off things that aren't necessary. So this is my little swatch that I have for my shimmer pins. I have quite a collection of colorful shimmer pins. I never thought that I was going to need any other color but the white one. And it turns out I love them all. And Close to My Heart has a great variety of them. The Wink of Stella ones haven't really been my favorite as far as the color ones go. The crystal clear one, yes, but the color ones, no. So I decided on this gorgeous peach color, and I just, look at that. It is gorgeous. It is my favorite. I also picked out 2 sprays for my border strips, and one of them is this one here is bronze, and the pump on it doesn't spring back up. So I have to manually pop it up so I can get 1 squirt, and then I have to pull it up and squirt and pull it up and squirt. And so, it works. I just have to remember that it does that. And then the next one, did I tell you that was bronze from Heidi Swap? The next one was Mushy Peas by Dilutions. I absolutely love that. Oh, here's where I found out that I colored the wrong side. I even put glue on the wrong side. Go me. So I left this in so you guys could see that it's not a tragedy. I don't need to throw it away. I don't need to go back to the Cricut and, make a new one. I actually am just using my, my glue eraser, and it erases it to the point where I was able to rip off 1 layer of paper and still have a decent size, because this is pretty thick cardstock, still have a decent thickness of paper. So now it's not super thin. It is thin, but it's not very thin. But it was able to get all the glue off in order to recolor the right side. So these pens, you have to squeeze them to get the color out, and the color lasts quite a while unless you use them like all the time like I do. But when you squeeze, if you squeeze too much, all the color comes out. And if you squeeze too little, no color comes out. So there's a happy medium that you have to find. And basically what I do is I shake it and then just give it a teeny tiny little squeeze, and then shake it some more until I start seeing the color. It is irritating, but it's better than having all the color goosh out on you and possibly ruin your project, because 9 times out of 10, I'm squeezing over my project. So anyways, crisis solved. I got her all glued down, and now I'm going to pick out my gems. So instead of a gem, I decided to do these enamel dots. Well, when I put them on, I realized, oh, they're not enamel dots. They're puffy dots. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool, because at first I didn't like them. I'm just being honest. I don't know where they came from. But once I put one on, I was like, oh, that's a puffy. Maybe now I'll like all the other colors, because it came in a huge rainbow. I'm not really sure where I got it, because by the time that I separated it into colors, the packaging that it came in was already gone. Anyways, back to the layout. I am gluing down this red piece finally, and when I first glued it down and put all my pictures back on, the base page actually shifted, and so I kind of had to tear it up a little bit and put it back to where it was supposed to be. And then I chopped it in half, and now I am setting up my photos. Now here, I should have just glued my photos down. But no, I'm the kind of person that has to lay everything out first. And the reason why I say I should have glued it down is because now that I see myself how I had it before,
I really liked how I had my koi fish, and I mean, I like how I have my koi fish now at, the end result, but I kind of liked it beforehand. And you guys will see where they shifted and all that other stuff. But I actually wanted to see where my borders lie. And that was, my next step. And instead of stopping right there and gluing the things down, I went and put my fish down. So it's like, no, I should have stopped there and put my borders down, but I didn't. It's okay. It works. I am just going to go through and, put my fish down like that one there. I should have left that fish right there, the one down at the bottom, on the bottom left, because I like him. He fits there. I do shift these fish around quite a bit. I had no intention of using all of them. I actually was like, oh, I'm going to use 3. So, oh no, that's how I like it right there. The big fish down at the bottom and then the other fish swimming behind him. That is how I like it. It doesn't stay. And then I love that other fish looking off the page on the right because it's a flip flap. It doesn't matter which direction the fish are actually looking. And in a koi pond, they're not all looking and swimming in a pool or a school like all the fish in the ocean do. Yep, making stuff up now. The koi ponds are always, the fish are doing whatever they want to do. And so they're not always swimming in the same direction. So I really liked that. But when I went to go and start gluing all the things down, I moved all my fish. And then it was like I had to start all over again, which is okay. Not a big deal. But I'm just saying I liked it a lot better the way they are right now. It's okay. I'll get over it. Okay, stop talking about it. Move on. So I'm just gluing my photos down, and I decided that I am going to glue everything down and then turn the paper over to cut that photo in half. I don't know why I didn't just glue everything down. It's not like anything would have gotten in the way of cutting the photo in half. But hey, I'm weird and I work in stages. So see what I mean? I moved all my fish just to cut this photo in half. I should have just glued everything down. I should have done, right? So I put that fish back where I thought that it went, which it didn't, but that's okay. But I knew that this large fish wasn't going to move. I knew exactly where I wanted this large fish. So I'm going to pop him up. And he is just so cute. See, that was my little happy hands. I love it. He's so cute. I like my other fish too, but you've always got one uber super pretty koi fish in a pond. You always do. Every pond I've ever seen has a fish that just stands out, and he is the prettiest of the pretty. And then all the other ones are like they're gorgeous, but they're not like him, if that makes sense. Yeah, I just need to stop. And so I am just popping up. I am popping up all of my little fishies. Somehow that extra fish got put in. Yeah, see? No, why are you changing your mind? That was pretty. Anyways, yep, see? So all of them end up popped up, but I don't use all of them. That one little lonely fish on my foam sheet does not get put on the layout. And now all my fish are going in the right direction. It's okay. I'll be over it. And then that big guy gets put in the wrong spot because I forgot, but I don't even notice it. You know what? In fact, I didn't notice it until I actually ended up rewatching this video for editing. That was it. That's the only way I knew that it was like, oh, I am missing something. So last thing I'm going to do to this layout is I'm going to put these little puffy dots on my fishy's eyeballs, and I have to pop them up because there's nothing supporting them. And then on the smaller pieces, the dots fit in the little holes of the cut or of the image just fine. So I have to spend a little bit of time. It is obnoxious, but that is what I do. I cut these tiny little foam pieces just enough to go in the hole of the eye, and then I can pop up these little puffies. And I really like it. I think it adds a little bit more dimension to the fish instead of them just being uber super flat. So here are the close-ups of the actual sketch and the layout. Oh, I didn't even put the sketch up, you guys. Ugh, there I go again. Anywho, here is the actual like close up, and if you guys don't want me or don't want to watch me put little decorations around the map, that is a-okay, but I decided to leave this in as well because I like to put interest in the map, to make the eye go around the map. Don't just go, oh, it was a map. I really do love putting these types of like memorabilia into my albums, because this aquarium has actually grown in size. And so it's pretty much doubled by now from what I have heard and read and researched. And I think it's great to see all the different ways that things have grown. I do this with theme parks as well. When we go to a theme park and end up looking at the map, and then you can see how it's changed from, you know, like even Legoland. We went in 2015 and then again in 17, and the two maps don't match. And it's just awesome how I just love that. I love looking back and seeing how things have changed. And so this is one of my favorite things, even if it takes up an entire page in my album, sometimes two. Anywho, I am all done. That's all I did. I just added a few extra hexies to the page. I debated about putting a koi on, but I did not. Anywho, be sure to follow the links below. Actually, it's just a link to the Facebook group. Make sure you go and join the group, and then you guys can check out the album where all of these layouts and sketches live, and see what everyone else is creating. I absolutely love going through the albums and seeing everybody's take on these sketches. All right, I will check you guys tomorrow. Bye.